Welcome to the Intern Whisperer Live, the show all about internships and how to survive them. This is Jason.
This is Khalil.
This is Isabella. Our hashtag for tonight's show is hashtag wakeboarding. And if you use that hashtag on Pivot's Intern Pursuits Instagram or on the Facebook, you will win a picture that is one of our coloring pages from the game, Intern Pursuit game, and an autographed box of crayons for our coloring conversations. Our show features an amazing athlete. I did it there on that. An international student from Rollins College. Reminder, listeners can call us live on the air. The phone number is 407-582-2906. And we sure hope that somebody calls us. Oh, look, there's somebody up there now.
That's
Abby. Call us on the show. We want to hear the phone ring. All right. So, and you can also chat with us live on Facebook.
Coming up this episode of Intern Whisperer Live, Rollins College wakeboarding team going pro wakeboarding, hashtag what I learned stories, great leaders that inspire us, and introducing hashtag employers for change promotion, the Intern Pursuit game coloring page promotion, and the Wild Card Wednesday topic.
All right. So how can people find us on Facebook? You can go to Pivot Business Consulting. You can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. You can find Intern Pursuit on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. Intern Pursuit Game is on Facebook and Twitter. And you can listen to us live on mixlr.com/Valencia College Radio and follow the Intern Whisperer. That's actually the show on there. So, and again, watch us live. Oh, look, we have more people. Yay. Chelsea. Who's Chelsea? Is that your friend?
That's my girlfriend, yeah.
There you go.
Hi, Chelsea.
Hi, Chelsea.
Hi.
We're saying a special hi to you. So thank you for listening. And you can also chat with us live like the people that are up here right now. Sponsor 2.
All right, we'd like to thank our first sponsor, the Florida Patient Association, whose mission is to bring support and services to patients in the state of Florida. If you have not received the help and support you need from an injury in the healthcare industry, contact Florida Patient Association for guidance on your rights. Thank you, Florida Patient Association, for sponsoring the Intern Whisperer.
Now for the little jingle that we have.
That music is always done by Sophie Lloyd, a student that's in England that works on the game. So I just love the music from our game. Okay, so tonight's guest is Damien Adam from Rollins College. He is a wakeboarder and was ranked 9th on the Pro Wakeboard Tour and 10th of the Wakeboard World Series. We have a real athlete here. This is amazing. So excited. You can follow him on Instagram at Damien Adam, and I'm going to spell that, DAMIENADAM. All right, so welcome to the Intern Pursuit Show.
Thank you.
We're really glad to have you here. So we have some initial questions, but I know the guys have done some research, and we always welcome any questions that come from our listeners. So we will be watching our Facebook Live to see if anybody comes in with questions. But Damien, you went to Rollins College, and you did 2 degrees. Tell us what it is you went to school for and what that was like to go to Rollins.
Sounds good. So it was great. I loved going to Rollins. I majored in international business as my undergrad, and then I stayed an extra 2 years to get my master's in marketing. And so
MBA, right?
Right, MBA.
Not even just marketing. You went for the whole business administration.
Yeah, exactly. So it was an MBA concentrated in marketing, and so 6 years later, I'm finally out of school. Feels great.
That's super good. You were telling us earlier before the show started about some of the projects that you were doing at the MBA program. And I think that of course I know you signed an NDA and you cannot disclose, but feel free to share anything about that because there was an entrepreneur track that you were also engaged in. What was a project that you'd like to share with our listeners?
So the project that I really enjoyed the most was the NASA startup project. So in that project, we were given 8 weeks to create a startup based on a NASA patented technology. So we, went down the list of NASA patents, and there's 1,000 of them, and pick one that we thought we could apply to the real world and, make a product out of it. And 8 weeks later, we had created a startup and had a product. We didn't quite get to really have a product in our hands, but we came up with the concepts and all the marketing plans and the industry analyses and everything. And so that was a really cool real world experience, if you want to call it that. And,
Oh yeah, just the planning stage alone is tedious, and people don't think about how much goes into it because it takes a lot to launch a product. I mean, we can put up a website, you can get a logo, but that doesn't mean you know what you're doing. You don't have sales yet, so it can take some time.
Yeah, and it was sweet to kind of be immersed in a different world than the business world too, right? Because we had to understand that technology. We had to talk back and forth with scientists at NASA and trying to understand what the technology was about. So it was, a lot different from all of our other
I would
projects.
think so. I want to know, did you get a tour of NASA?
No, we didn't.
Bummer.
Interesting.
Yeah. we actually had a date scheduled, but I was at a competition that day that they just went to Cape Canaveral and visited there. But I'd been before on my own, so I knew what it was like. But the NASA patent that we were working on was from their base in California. So
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, so you were working with one of Intern Pursuit's clients, affiliate manager. Tell our listeners what it is that you did with them during your internship there, because that was 6 months. You're like in the home stretch. You're almost finished.
Yeah, exactly. So with Affiliate Manager, they're an online marketing company. They do affiliate marketing, which basically is the agency that brings the merchants, people that sell things, and the publishers, which are people that promote things together. And so in doing that, they allow people to promote products for companies and earn a commission in the process. And so what I did there specifically for most of the time was a BDM role, is what they call it, which stands for Business Development Manager. So I was looking for new publishers, so promoters, for the clients that we had. Our clients were the merchants, the people selling the products. And so I did basically everything in that role. So I did all the recruiting, all the reporting, all the emailing to the affiliates, and then I had to come up with solutions on how to optimize their websites, and also activating the people that had been part of the program for a long time but never sent any sales, so I had to give them a call too. And so I did a lot of online marketing, which is something that in my master's
You wanted to
in
study.
marketing, exactly, I wanted to do. And there was really only one class on social media and everything, but there wasn't much about this whole affiliate marketing side, which I found fascinating. So
Yeah. And we've had Claudia on here as a guest. Were you here when Claudia was a guest?
I believe I'm not sure.
I think so. So.
I may have been, or I may have been watching. I'm not
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, maybe that was Val though, and
yeah,
it was probably Val and Geron. Anyway, and they are a sponsor of the show, and this is the last week for these sponsors. We're going to have new sponsors rolling in, but nonetheless, you have a question.
I'm curious. How did you end? Because you're an international student, correct?
Right. Yes.
How did you end up at Rollins pursuing a degree in business administration?
Ooh, you got recruited, I bet.
Oh no,
Yeah.
actually, so okay, so it's funny. That's a great question. It's kind of a funny story. So I graduated from high school, and so I left home, which is Mauritius Island. It's an island off the coast of Madagascar, and so my parents said, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
And I really loved wakeboarding at that point, and that's all I could think about. So I said, I want to wakeboard. And so Orlando turns out to be the mecca for wakeboarding.
Really?
That's where all of the professional wakeboarders live, yeah.
That's interesting.
And really, everyone lives here and trains here, and it's really the center for everything, because I guess there's so many lakes and it's nice year-round, right?
Yeah.
And so I came here, did a wakeboard camp for 6 months, and absolutely loved it, got really, really good to a competitive level, and wanted to stay here. So now I was 18, and my parents said, okay, it's time for you to go to college now. You can't just play, right? And so then we applied to Rollins, and because really it kind of fell in our laps, because I applied to UCF and then I applied to Rollins. I got into both, and I went and visited Rollins, and it was on a lake. It was right by my wakeboard school at the time. And so it just, it made perfect sense. It was a small school, easy to go in and out. And then, but then I totally fell in love with it after the first semester. I couldn't have you know.
Yeah,
been
it's
happier.
a wonderful school.
Awesome.
I love my school too. That's
So-
It's so
Yeah.
pretty, like the campus. I've done a photo shoot there, and I was like, oh wow.
It's voted the most beautiful campus in the United States.
Really.
I believe it.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it
Yeah,
is
I loved
pretty.
it so much. I stayed an extra 2 years.
Wow.
And so he pursued his MBA. Yeah.
Yeah. So you graduated high school from your
Yeah,
in your
my-
home country.
right, from my home country.
Did you
And-
have a scholarship there at Rollins too? Since you were so good in wakeboarding.
No, I didn't. They actually don't sponsor wakeboarding because it's
Oh.
not part of the NCAA.
Oh.
It's not a registered sport, I guess. So
Mm.
we didn't really get any backup from the Rollins Sports
Okay.
Administration
Yeah.
for any of the contests that we did. We kind of had to pay for
Oh, wow.
everything ourselves, for the training, for all of that. So
It's
that
a good thing
was-
you're so good though.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
There you go.
People were paying you to be
Yeah.
that good.
And that's why I competed 2 years in the collegiate division, and then after that, I just went and did the pro competition. So
Yeah.
Now, do you plan on combining your two worlds with wakeboarding and marketing? Like, start doing marketing plans for other
Yeah.
wakeboarders and stuff like that?
yeah, that's a great question. That's always been my vision since I graduated college. I wanted to be involved in the not necessarily just wakeboarding, but boating and lake life type of community in general. And that's really my end goal. My end goal is to kind of give back to the industry that gave me so much in the first place. I got to do so much from wakeboarding that I would have never imagined. The places I've gone to, the people I've met, and everything, and that's really where my heart is. Right, it's my heart's not necessarily in marketing, but it's definitely in wakeboarding. So yeah, I've been looking for ways to combine the two, and really merge these two.
So
together.
was that degree just something that kind of worked out, or were you?
No, so marketing's. So I did international business, right, which is just kind of your broad, general business degree, and the international component I thought was interesting because you have to do up to level 400 class in a different language, and then they cover a lot broader range of things in the business world that as far as countries go. So they they don't only teach you how business is done in the US, but also how business is done in Europe, in different places. And we had a lot of culture classes. We had a lot of, doing business abroad type of classes. So, and that I really liked. And what really stood out was the marketing classes that I had.
Mm-hmm.
And, how just, it's fascinating how marketing works, right? How, you can make people think that they want something, and kind of connecting people and companies together was really, I don't know,
The
fascinating.
psychology.
The psychology
Yeah.
behind it.
That's
exactly.
the thing. You have to have this. You deserve this. You've earned this.
Yeah, and Apple is really a company that's always, fascinated me.
Why
with,
so?
With that, with marketing, just because how they can make people believe that they need a $1,500 phone.
Oh my
so
God.
bad
Oh my gosh.
that they need
That's
to
true.
be
It's true.
there the day before and wait in front of
in
the
those
store.
long lines,
Yeah.
right?
And the amount of people here, that can afford a $1,000 phone is mind blowing. But
Mhm.
Well, they graciously allow you to pay that over, 12
Yeah.
months of payments.
months.
Yeah.
Saw your life away.
Yeah.
and to trade it in every year,
Yeah.
but just the company in general. I mean, I have all Apple stuff. I have a computer and a phone and everything like that.
So you
Tablet.
just fell into the
Yeah.
ecosystem.
and an iPad.
Yeah.
I fell right into it, and that's why I was never really one to be duped like that, and I thought it was interesting that I'm one of them. I'm one of the
Yeah.
Well, I-
One of the sheep.
Yeah.
one of the sheep.
Yeah.
That went right after them. Yeah. Yeah.
So I
that
said I
is-
want to learn how to do that.
Yeah. How do I sell this to so many people and make them
Yeah.
believe they need it? Yeah. It's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're good enough at marketing, you can sell anything to anyone.
Mhm.
So
Sure. Yeah.
I think so much of that is done, maybe not through their advertising. I really don't think that the advertising was the method that they got it out there. Is that they had a really high level of customer experience, and they were wanting to make sure that everything that was in this is what you wanted. So they didn't have to really promote it through any print or
Yeah.
that. They just made sure that what they were putting in this phone was something
Well,
that
I
people
think a lot of
I
the-
have to have this phone.
I think a lot of the promotions is also the people that own the phones. Like
Yeah.
it sells itself.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, everybody has an iPhone, and you don't need to. put out a commercial to sell it because people will still buy it. Just
Oh
'cause
yeah,
of-
word
Yeah,
of
when
mouth
you-
is way more.
Mhm.
When you got
powerful.
8 people in a room, and then one of them doesn't have an iPhone,
It's like, oh my god, you don't have an iPhone? Yeah, it's like
everybody's like, oh my god.
So curious, iPhone?
Yeah.
iPhone?
Yeah, iPhone.
iPhone. Okay, so
Yeah,
all
see?
4 of us in the room, iPhones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're cool.
Yeah, we're in the club. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All
Yeah.
sheeps.
Yeah, that's true.
So I wanted to ask about wakeboarding, just because I'm not
Sure.
really familiar with the sport.
Mhm.
What would it take to classify it as an official? You said it's not considered a sport by the NCAA.
Right. Well, so as far as collegiate.
Okay.
goes,
The
right?
colleges.
Yeah,
oh,
so-
gotcha.
Right. So it's not, it's not you don't get scholarships. You know how you get scholarships for football?
Yeah.
People go
Yeah.
and get a full ride through college and
Mhm.
whatnot.
Volleyball,
And
other
they
sports.
get picked exactly, just like any sports that's
Yeah.
the NCAA, and wakeboarding is just not one of them.
Not yet.
And not yet, yeah.
And is that just in the state or is it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about elsewhere how that would work,
Mm-hmm.
as far as scholarships and everything, but I know in the States, and funny thing is but skiing's been around for longer, so
Yeah.
Okay.
it's fair. But yeah, so that basically meant that we had to, go to all our competitions and training and boats and everything. We had to sort that ourselves between the members of the team.
Okay.
Mm. Do you know how to wakeboard or ski?
No.
Do
I
you?
told them the closest thing I've ever done is kayaking. But,
That's fitting.
no, I've never.
Yeah, that's not even like. No, I don't even.
I mean,
it's on the water. You're right.
yeah.
It's on the water.
I stood on the board once. I fell, but
It's more like it's not slalom skiing either, but it's
No.
closer to that. I
So the
think,
best
than-
the best way I describe it to people that don't know what it is, it's a mix between snowboarding and water skiing, right?
okay.
Where you're on the water, you're getting towed by a boat, but you're doing what people on snowboards are doing, when they're jumping and doing
Mhm.
tons of twists and
Yeah,
flips
yeah.
and everything. So
I mean, you're just on one board. You're not.
right.
Yeah, it's
And
not
so you
just
got
Yeah,
the
yeah.
one.
you got the same
Mhm.
stance as you would on a snowboard,
Yeah.
but you're
Gotcha.
doing it behind the boat. Yeah.
yeah.
I think they were doing it in the Jaws movie. That's why I know.
Really?
About it. I was like, oh, what are they doing? And
how do
Ron
you-
told me.
How do you get into that?
Okay, that is also a great question. So here, actually, so my uncle has lived here for 30 years now. He lives down in South Florida in Boca Raton, and I would come and visit him every summer since I was 14 years old. And one summer I came, I remember when I was 15, and my cousin and his friend were wakeboarding. And so I'd been slalom skiing. My dad was a slalom skier and everything, so I'd been doing that for forever since I was probably 5 or 6 years old. And then, one summer I found wakeboarding, and then I tried it, and I literally never really picked up a slalom ski again after that. And so bought a wakeboard that summer, took it home to Mauritius, and then did it with my dad. And my dad was kind of like, what is this? What about skiing?
It's still
And,
the same thing. It's just
yeah.
a shorter, fatter board.
I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
the thing about that, you can't do it alone. Really, you need
Right.
somebody else to
Yeah,
pull you.
Yeah,
so
you
it's,
need a boat and a driver.
Right, right. It's not something you go. Hey, I feel like
Yeah.
wakeboarding today,
No,
but I
you
need
can't.
like people to work with me.
Yeah.
Okay. Like,
Same as skiing, though.
yeah, I
You
guess.
can't ski without jet ski, but that's not.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
not
I mean,
the same.
it's like, so you needed people like behind, that would like support
Right.
that and be into
Yeah.
that. So okay.
Has your dad gone wakeboarding now?
No, he has not. in the past 10 years, he has not tried a wakeboard.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
He
I've
should.
tried.
He still skis, right?
No.
Oh, well, then there you go. It's not going to happen. If he's
Yeah.
not skiing, he's
Missed
not going to do it.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does your mom or did your mother ever ski also?
Yeah, she does. She hasn't in a long time. My sister does. My sister is 12. Yeah.
Mm.
So
Did
she
you teach
wakeboards.
her?
Yes, basically.
Oh, nice.
So she wakeboards. So that's.
Do you
that's
think
sweet.
she'll be better than you?
Ooh.
I hope so.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
She
great.
That's a
started
good
younger.
brother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's a
for
good
real.
brother.
That's a good answer. Yeah.
She
Yeah.
started younger, so she should.
Yeah.
If she keeps at it.
What is the hardest trick to do on a wakeboard?
In general, or that I can do. Because
In
that's-
general, let's start with there.
In general, so I mean I don't know. It's subjective to a certain extent because some moves are harder for some people than others.
Right.
Like for me, for example, spinning on on an axis is easier than flipping, which is, when you go upside down.
Yeah, that's kind of gymnastics like, I think.
Right. And for some people, flipping is easier than spinning.
Okay.
So it's, it's different, but definitely one of the hardest tricks that's been done right now on a wakeboard that won, tons of different awards and stuff so when you do a double flip and you do a spin at the same time.
Oh, wow.
So it's called a double mob is what it's called.
Okay.
But essentially what it is you do 2 flips, so not just 1, but 2, and then at the same time you rotate 360 degrees around your your axis. So that's really really hard, and I've never come close to doing any of that. So.
Okay.
Is there a triple flip?
Yeah, actually, someone has done a triple flip on a massive kicker, is what they call it. So they like a ramp.
The thing.
The ramp.
Yeah, not behind the boat at a cable park, but but yeah, it has been done.
Wow.
3 times around. Yeah.
So what is it that you do to prepare yourself to compete in these competitions? Like, do you do any
That's a
athletic
good
training?
question.
Right. Yeah. So the ideal wakeboarder, trains every day and goes to the gym and eats really well and is focused solely on that. But I with school and work and everything, what it looks like for me was, at least when I was competing this past season, was trying to wakeboard at least once a day was the goal that I was setting for myself. And then basically what it would look like when I would wakeboard is that I would do my competition run, which is 8 tricks. So you go 4 tricks down the pass and then 4 tricks back. And so I would just try to, stick that perfectly. And then if I would get it, I would stop for a second, maybe let someone else ride and then do it again. So that's the way you prepare for competition, is
Okay.
Oh, wow.
really practicing your run.
Is there somewhere you can go, but like, hey man, I want to wakeboard, and you just get on, or
Well,
I
have a boat. So
okay.
and I live on a lake, so it's easy.
Oh,
I
but
just need someone to drive.
to drive the boat.
Yeah,
Okay.
which my girlfriend up there
Oh.
is usually the one that pulls me. And Shay's a friend from college. Hey
Oh,
Shay,
hi Shay.
There you go.
she wakeboards also, and she
You
went
mean
to school.
Chelsea wakeboard?
Chelsea and Shay both wakeboard.
That's super
That's awesome.
cool.
That's
And,
awesome.
Cool.
Girl power, yay!
So so it's really convenient because I live with my girlfriend and we both wakeboard,
Okay.
and so we go out after work and then I pull her and then she pulls me and then we go home. And so
That's awesome. That's
so
awesome.
it's easy, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Gators. Do you ever see gators in the lake when you're doing
Yeah.
it? Do they stay away?
Let's get down to the important
It
question.
is
Yeah.
Florida.
It is Florida. But, like Lake Virginia right behind us, that is
Mhm.
Lake Virginia, right?
Yes, correct.
Right behind Rollins College. I have never seen any alligators in there.
I haven't
Are
seen
there?
one in that lake either. I haven't seen any on the lake that I live on currently, but I've seen over the past 6 years that I've lived here, I've probably seen maybe 5.
Oh wow.
I would think that they would stay out of the way.
Yeah,
They wouldn't
and
like it.
the only time I've really seen them is at night or at, dusk. So
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
it's hard
So
to see
So
them.
when you're
I was going to say something. Have you ever gone paddleboarding?
Yes.
Okay. Have you guys?
I have.
That's what I tried once, and I fell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
just a
I
big
s-
surfboard.
Yeah. I know.
So I was doing paddleboarding, and I had signed up over on the same lake over there at Rollins College, and it was dusk and nighttime, and they said, you must be really brave because nobody does this at this time. I said, why? And they said, because there's gators. I said, you know what? If it's going to happen, it's just going to happen. I'm not going to worry about it. So we went out we paddleboarded. We went out to the chain of lakes that's between Rollins and all the way to Lake Minnehaha, I think, over in Maitland, whatever that big one is. And we were just out in the middle of nowhere, and it was so beautiful. There were the moon was there, and there were little bugs that were all flying around, little lightning bugs. It was so pretty. And never once was I even concerned that an alligator was going to come up. But, I mean, if I thought about it for too long, I probably could. But I think that's got to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, alligators, we don't really think about it when we're out on the boat because they usually stay away.
Yeah,
from
boats
a
are
running
noisy,
boat.
loud.
Exactly. They're pretty, scared of that type of stuff. So, but I always get nervous when I have to go and check under the boat. So say if there's weeds on the prop or something like that, and I have to go under there and remove them, I always get nervous because it's really dark down there, and so you got to swim down and the boat is off, and so you never know really what's down.
Something's gonna swim around. Yeah,
It's not for me.
It can be a little bit intimidating. I know. Yeah.
So what have you accomplished doing wakeboarding?
So, well, in what sense, right? And as far as
So like competitions, any
Competition.
Oh yeah,
wise.
did you win money? What's the
Yeah.
best thing you've won?
Yeah, well, so disclaimer, wakeboarders don't make a lot of money. That's why I decided to go to school also.
Yeah.
And,
Career
but-
path.
Right, but so basically, kind of the best rank I've gone at a competition is 6th at the World Championships.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Wow.
at one point
Wow.
in time, I was 6th in the world.
Wow. Wow. That's
And
amazing.
for one weekend, and but yeah, I mean, I made probably $1,500 that weekend, so not not
Yeah.
a lot of money.
Okay.
No,
Gotcha.
it's I would think the sponsorships
Yeah,
is really where you make money. It's not prize money.
Yeah, where most of those pro wakeboarders that that I'm friends with make their money is through sponsors, and then bonuses that they get. If they do well in a competition, then their sponsors might match their earnings and stuff like that. And most of them don't have 1 or 2 sponsors; they have like 8. So
Wow.
Have you ever considered being a brand ambassador?
yeah,
mean?
well,
Well, like, how would you define that?
Like for me, I'm a brand ambassador for a California clothing company, and all I have to
okay.
do is like just do photo
Are you wearing
shoots.
clothing right now from your?
No.
Okay, never mind.
you're a brand ambassador, right?
Yeah,
Not the brand
like,
ambassador.
all you have to do. No, you're like just one of like the many people,
Right.
Right.
and then you just like wear one of their things when you go out or do a photo shoot, whatever.
Yeah.
and then you
So
can
it's like an
acquire some money.
influencer.
Yeah, it's like a social media influencer kind of thing.
Yeah, and I did that for a clothing company, and I think it was 2 years ago. I was sponsored by a company like that, a clothing company, and that's all I really had to do was to wear their shirts when I went out on the boat and to competitions, and then take pictures with
Right.
their shirt on, and not really push the product, but just
Just wear it.
brand awareness. Exactly. And I guess I'm kind of a brand ambassador for the sponsor that I have now for my wakeboards that he
Do
gives
you
me all
want
the
to give them a
equipment.
shout out?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Shout out to Cornelli Wake. They're the ones who really make it possible for me to wakeboard so easily. They give me all the material that I need to wakeboard, all the ropes, the handles, the boots, the board itself, the vest.
What a great
Yeah.
sponsor.
All of my equipment whenever I need it, and it's always fresh and
That's great.
everything. And I, in my opinion, it's it's my favorite brand out there right now, so that's why I go with
Nice.
them.
How do you spell their name?
Cornelli? It's CONNELLY.
Okay.
Wake. Cornelli Wake. At Cornelli Wake on Instagram. So
We will do that.
yeah.
Do you have a discount code that people can use?
I do not. They do not participate in that. Most of their sales are actually through board shops. So you go into a store and buy stuff. Which maybe I can help them with more of the online
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, and that's one thing I was thinking about, to go with people that I've been working with in the wakeboard industry as an athlete, and to come back and say, okay, well, what about the business side? I could I could help you guys with that instead of being an athlete. Now I can be an employee.
Yeah, sure. Even better.
Yeah.
Health insurance.
And you could give back to them too. I mean,
Exactly.
this whole industry that's given you so much, you can give back by
And you have a very unique perspective, being both a wakeboarder
right.
and then a business person at the same time. So it's kind of two different points
So
of view
that
there.
leads into a good question. So what have you learned from affiliate manager and from your internship, that even the NASA one, what would you take forward into that next phase of your life?
Yeah, so we learned a lot of very specific things to that business, but what that has really taught me is time management, right? And how to really, because I always had to do time management in college and in grad school and everything, but I didn't really have to coordinate it with a lot of different people, and to have tasks coming in and then have to send out different tasks, and then you add the working from home component into all of that, which working from home, I don't know if any of you guys have, but it's pretty
They do.
hard.
They get to.
Right. I mean, I guess for me it was pretty hard because I always was in kind of monitored environment, and now I had all this time that I had to structure my work around, and get all of that stuff done. So that's, self-discipline and time management were really two
And to
things.
prioritize, I would think.
Right.
Prioritizing.
Prioritization also kind of goes into time management, where, there's some tasks that, okay, well, I could do that tomorrow. What I really need to do is get all these reports out today because they need them for tomorrow and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's really critical. So why do you think internships are important for students? What would you tell your friends that are in school, or why do you think this is an important part of your pursuit of who you are and what you want to do?
Well, I think for two reasons, right? The first one is that you get to try out what you thought you liked.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I've had 3 internships so far, and some I've liked, and then some after doing my 3 months, I was like, I never again. Excuse me. And so you get to have a little taste exactly of what that's like, and then what this is like and everything. And so that's one reason why it's really beneficial for a student to participate in an internship. And then the second one is that it really gives you a sense of what real work life looks like.
Expectations.
Right, expectations, accountability, and stuff that when you're in college, sometimes you skip a class, or you turn in something late, or whatever, and the consequences aren't really there for most of at least for me.
I agree.
Mhm. Yeah.
Right.
It's it's not a realistic picture of what real world
You can
jobs are.
And you can email your teacher and say, "Oh yeah, my dog ate my homework," or something like something ridiculous. But nobody really uses that line. But
but you can miss class, and there's minimal.
There's a million excuses you can make. But when you're at work and a report is expected from you, and you better come up with a solid excuse if you didn't have it done, and you don't just fail the class, you get fired, and
that is right.
and so it's a lot more consequences, I think,
and there's a lot more on the line.
Right, it's a lot more at stake, and so that's why I think it's also important.
One of the things that I say to people that work with me, I go, there's good, and that's just, you're just doing the bare minimum of what you have to do. Then there's great, and you're doing like definitely above. But if you want to be extraordinary, then take something off of my shoulders so I don't have to come and double check, or bring more value into the situation, so that it's like, wow, I hadn't thought about that. Those are the ways that I feel a student can stand out, is by really differentiating yourself. One of the things that they heard me say to them today, but to most of them I said, I'm training you to be more of a manager than an entry-level job. So have my back. Make sure you have everybody else's back. Like, pay attention. Don't just sit here and go, oh, this didn't get done. I wonder who's going to get it done. No, pay attention to those things, because that's going to be where you can stand out. Because that's like student mentality versus what you were just saying, employee mentality. Yeah, I get it. All right. So, inspiring leaders.
Yeah, so I guess I didn't touch on it earlier, but we had a school project where we had to do an analysis on a potential startup and give alternatives, and then pick one, and why, and do the whole project on this one hypothetical startup, which turned out to be Eric Spiegel's startup, who's the former CEO of Siemens USA. Right, so he
Do
came.
You guys know that?
No, he mentioned him earlier.
Oh, okay.
So he came inside the classroom with all of us, and then told us, that he left Siemens the year before or 2 years before, I forget how long it was, and he's deciding to pursue, a new venture with some of his friends or his business partners or whatnot, and so he told us everything. He gave us all the files, and he said, there you go, and we had to sign an NDA and everything. And so why I think he's an inspiring leader, and why I look up to him in a lot of regards, is because, well, one, he was in one of the most powerful positions you can be, being at the head of Siemens. That's really a great achievement, and that's what I aspire to be at some point in the future, is to be in a major management role like that. And two, he said that he quit his job that made him millions of dollars and did all of that to go and pursue something that he really has close to his heart, which is an oncology center, and so that was
For cancer.
Wow.
yeah, for cancer.
Wow.
And so to help doctors and cancer doctors get together and build a practice and everything like
Wow.
that. So it was really cool. It was really cool to get to meet him, to understand what his priorities are now in life, versus what it was 20 years ago. And so that's why I think he's a really outstanding person.
I think most people tend to sit here, I know I did, it's like, oh, well, whatever you're picking as your career, like that's what you're going to be for the rest of your life. That's not true. You choose what you want to be for how long, and you can take the things that you're really good about doing, and you really got to know, where does your energy come from? What do you love doing? What do you really hate doing? And then be able to channel that into any industry. You can do it in any industry. You just need to go, what do I love to do? And then focus. And you could spend 5 years in an industry, move to another one, and you learn different things. It takes, I think, 5 years to even say you understand an industry, because you don't know jack.
Right.
And after 2 years, you're just like touching it.
Always got to be ready to pivot. Right?
Right, that's
Nice.
right.
Nice play on words.
Yeah.
So, what is your current career goal then?
So well, right now it's blurry what I really. So I'm doing this internship, right, and I really love the online marketing things that I'm learning. It's really awesome.
I know they love you too.
Right? Yeah. And I fit in great there and everything, and so I like that. But really, my end goal is to be in a management position.
Okay.
And because I enjoy numbers and doing reports and all of that, but what I really had in mind from the beginning and what I wanted to do was to be in charge and to really lead people is what I've always wanted to do. So that's my goal. That at what level of management.
That's
and
like
leading.
a 30,000
Yeah.
view.
Yeah.
So when you're thinking about it, you're still figuring it
Exactly.
out. But you know that you want wakeboarding. You know you like the marketing side. I know we've talked
And
about
so-
the numbers.
And I don't know how much longer I'm going to live in Orlando and all of
Okay.
that. So everything is just kind of sorting itself out at
Okay.
the moment. But yeah, so general goal would be that.
So I don't think I asked this one, but we're going to take a step back. Like, how did you hear about the internship? How did you and I meet? Let's go ahead and
Yeah.
talk about that one.
So I was looking for jobs and internship on my school's website, which is
Handshake.
Handshake.
Rollins
Okay.
uses Handshake.
right. So it's Handshake. A
So does
pretty-
UCF.
Pretty generic website that a lot of the schools use, and so then that's how I met you. And
Yeah, I
then-
reached out.
Right. So I met Isabella on there, and then I went through the whole intern pursuit program, and she introduced me to affiliate manager, and so I did some assessments and everything was a good match, I think,
Yeah.
for both of us. So both me, you, affiliate manager, and everybody involved. So that's how I ended up working there, and so it's been great so far.
Yeah, and he had,
awesome.
like I said, a list of skills he knew he was going to be working to earn, but even more than that, he and Diego, who couldn't be on the show tonight, but will in another time, they are the first ones that ever got to go and have an account. And I know we said that earlier, but I'm even stressing it again because they've worked with other interns, and these two guys, Diego and Damien, have really stood out as somebody that they wanted to hand that over to, and they're very impressed with him. So Diego's, and I would sit down with both of them and say, "So, are you guys competing against each
Yeah.
other?" And privately.
Yeah, and it's great because we have that sort of, well, it's more of a friendly rivalry, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
where it's like, oh, I know how to do this task. You don't know? Oh, here, let me help you. And vice versa. But it's great because we started literally the same week, and we've been through the same training and the same, classes and everything, and learned the same thing.
But they still
so-
compete with each other,
Yeah.
which is good. I think
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or when we'll split a task together, I'll message him and be like, so are you done with that task yet? So we can clear it out and kind of tease each other like that. So it's great.
Yeah, that
it's
is
been really
good.
fun to have someone, to share that experience with. So
Yeah. Also, it motivates you to like.
yeah.
I mean, if it's like a friendly competition, you want to do better. You want to like outdo him, maybe.
And when Diego knows how to do something and I don't, I'm like, okay, well, you need to show me.
So we need to take a little bit of a break for a real quick sponsor recognition. So it is Affiliate Manager, Jason.
So, Affiliate Manager offers a complete management service that covers all aspects of developing and optimizing an affiliate program. Not only do we provide expertise, identify high potential opportunities, and execute campaigns to maximize performance. We make it a point to require minimum work for our merchant partners. You can reach out to them at www.affiliatemanager.com. Thank you, Affiliate Manager, for sponsoring the Intern Whisper Live.
Music?
And here's a little jingle. Shoot.
So we have like 4 minutes for a wild card conversation.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn the tables, and Damien, you can ask any of us any question that you would like. You weren't anticipating this.
No.
So you don't know anything about these guys, but you do about me. What would you like to know about them? Because I don't think you know where they went to school or what their major is or anything.
So I guess 3 questions.
Okay.
Where'd you go to school? Where'd you major in? And what do you do for fun?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
Okay.
go.
Khalil, go first.
Well, I transferred to UCF this past semester from Puerto Rico.
Sweet.
I'm a film major,
Oh, and where you from? That's
and I love playing video games.
good. Sweet.
Yeah.
Fortnite?
Sorry?
Fortnite?
Actually, not really. Like, not that
Really?
much. I don't love Fortnite. Yeah. But, sorry.
What's your game of choice?
Game of choice? Oh,
Yeah.
right now I'm playing Spider-Man. It just came out like last
Oh,
week. It's like-
everybody's
about
saying
that.
that. Everybody's going Spider-Man
Yeah,
just
I
came
mean,
out.
it's
Oh,
pretty
I
great.
guess
It's pretty
I'm gonna
great
have to
so
go
far.
Look at it. Is it an app game? Or?
No, it's like on
Oh,
the
it's-
PS4.
oh, okay.
It's on
never
PlayStation? Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, it's definitely there. Okay, Jason.
So I go to Full Sail University and I'm studying media communications, and I really love, like, on my free time, I love to go running and do yoga. So that's
Sweet.
just like my thing.
Yeah, but
Okay.
tell them the other thing about the worldwide wrestling.
Oh.
Tell them about what you
Oh.
do there.
So I'm in the student initiative for WWE.
He's being very
Humble.
humble. He won a $25,000 scholarship.
Really?
Yeah. So
That's
he's
sweet.
like he has his props
Yeah,
here. Yeah.
so we just like travel throughout the state of Florida, and then I help out with their social media and ticket sales and stuff like that.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So he's good. He's good when it comes to all of that stuff.
Just don't fight this side.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So I know that we have to move over to the next thing. So we're giving our shout outs. So we're going to be timely. So shout outs. I guess I'll go first
Yes.
then. Okay. So I want to give a shout out to everybody that's on the, certainly the game team and also the software team. We are getting ready to launch Intern Pursuit by the end of this month. So that's like right around the corner,
Yeah.
honestly. Student and employer registrations will be able to happen. We're going to be going to the campuses, UCF, Full Sail, Rollins. I've got permission at Rollins too. Seminole State, Valencia, and asking students, doing some videotaping, saying, hey, have you heard of Intern Pursuit? Please sign up. What do you want out of an internship? You want real skills? What is it that you really want? That's going to be part of our campaign. We have another campaign, a PR campaign called Employers for Change, and Employers for Change are employers that want to make sure that they're giving a quality mentorship internship with mentoring. It's inclusive. It's all of the things that everybody should have in their dream internship. So thanks to the software team, thanks to the game team, thanks to Katrina, and also to all of the hospitality people that are down at Starter Studio. It could go on, but thanks to these two guys that are across from me and my Monday night guys, because they make me look good. So thank you very much. And also for our wonderful guest.
There you go.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Damien. Okay, so you're up, Khalil.
Shout out to Abby, who's hopefully watching.
Yeah, he did not call us. Abby.
No, he
you
didn't
should have
call.
called.
Shout out to whoever's like the viewers today, whoever watches after. Hey, Mom, if you're watching, I love you. I guess that's it. Yeah, it's good for me.
You're up.
I'm gonna give out a special shout out to Kayla Reyes. She got me.
Megan's up here too.
Megan?
Your friend Megan.
Oh my God, Megan, I love you.
Okay, Megan's there. But I cut your other shout out off, so I'm sorry.
No, and I was just gonna say my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, she always gets something special. You're welcome, Mom.
Yeah. Got it. Okay, you get to go.
Yeah, it was a special shout out to my girlfriend who's watching.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And Shay, your
Yeah.
friend.
And my friend Shay.
You better shout me out.
Yeah, I know. I read that after.
Yeah.
And all the wakeboarders out there, and you guys for having me on the
Oh,
show.
Oh, thanks for
yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
And affiliate manager
And
also.
affiliate manager, of course.
Yeah, we want
Yes.
to recognize them.
And
So
Rollins.
very good. And I love Rollins. I know I do. Yeah. Okay. So again, reminders to everybody. Our hashtag word for tonight is wakeboarding. So like it on or hashtag it on Instagram or on our Facebook page. Anybody that does that, you will get a coloring page. We haven't given one out. We really want to give one out. And then you also get autographed crayons. So that sounds silly, but we think it's cool. You can contact us at info@internpursuit.com, and you can call us. Go look at the website, internpursuit.com. And I think that's everything. So as we close this show, we want to thank you all for listening.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Have a good night.